Hi, Mariah.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Shantae. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Well, aren't you beautiful?
Thank you.
So we talked over the phone, and
Yes.
as you know, we're doing a documentary on social media filters, and we know that this is huge now. Over the past year and a half to two, people have been using them like crazy. Some people are obsessed, insecurities, and all that. So I just kind of want to ask you, when were you first exposed to social media?
I was first, I think, exposed to social media. I had to have been about in the 7th grade when MySpace was out.
Oh, good old MySpace.
Which is very funny to think about now, but yeah. Because that's when we started to like edit our pictures. Like I keep finding old pictures of me that were like edited, and they all have like quotes on them because apparently that was the thing back then.
So, kind of fast forwarding into now you're becoming a teenager. Talk to me about junior high and high school. Like, what was it like for you?
For me, I think junior high school was the hardest. 7th grade was really fun. 8th grade was really hard because that's when I like started to get the skin condition, and I was very chubby. I was very self-conscious, and it was hard. I think that was when I really started to like figure out kind of like what I liked and who I am. So that was definitely a harder time for me. And then in high school, when I finally like became more comfortable with myself and was able to express myself through dance, I was much happier.
So, having to wear a lot of makeup at a young age, like, how did that make you feel at that time?
It was hard. I definitely think that wearing a lot of makeup at that time is it can be very stressful because like I said, like not many people, not many girls my age were wearing makeup like that. I think the most they were wearing would be like eyeliner, maybe eyeshadow, or like, and me on the other hand, I had like a full face of makeup, even though I wasn't doing like blush and all the makeup that I do now, but I still had like a full face of like actual makeup. So it was definitely different.
Back then, did you feel you can look beautiful without makeup, or you felt like you had to wear makeup to look beautiful?
I felt like I had to wear makeup, not necessarily to look beautiful, but just to be accepted. Like, I feel like I had to wear my makeup more so because I didn't want to deal with any questions. I would always, to just look, I guess, normal and fit in more with the other girls, I felt like I needed to wear makeup. It really wasn't to look beautiful, because even then, like, with the makeup, I still felt like I wasn't very confident in my appearance. But definitely the makeup helped me. I didn't want to stand out. I think that was a big thing for me. I didn't want to stand out.
Going back to social media, how much would you say that you use the different type of social media, like the Facebook, the Instagrams, and Snapchat?
Honestly, I use social media every day. I'm on Instagram, I think, the most, but I use Snapchat a lot as well, and I'm on Twitter pretty often.
So now when it comes to posting photos on Instagram or using filters, do you have a particular filter that you like?
On Snapchat, I really love the dog filter. I think it's really cute. Usually whenever I actually like feel like looking presentable and I post pictures, I always take one with that filter and I always post it as like that's my signature Snapchat of the day or whatever. For Instagram, it always just depends on the picture. Sometimes I'll do it in black and white. Sometimes I'll do it, I don't know. But most of my filters don't tend to be like too many like photo altering filters. It's just like a lighting change or something of the sort, you know? Because I don't do all the editing. That's just too much.
So you went years with using filters, wearing a filter, but you recently decided to not wear your filter anymore. What made you make that decision?
I had a friend of mine who was asking me why I still wore like, my makeup and stuff. And the only answer I kind of had was just because I didn't want to deal with any questions, and simply just because it felt easier. And they kind of were just like, well, just try it. You never know, like, what's going to happen. You never know how your people are going to react. I was always worried about, like, constant questions and stuff. But they said, just try it. You never know. As soon as I did try it and I realized that nothing really changed, I was like, wow, I can really do this. Because I was really, at first, like, pretty concerned people were going to constantly ask me questions. I was going to get stares. And I wasn't going to really be necessarily, like, looked at as highly or looked at as be as attractive. I definitely think that once I did that first time, that was awesome. I was like, wow, this is easy.
So you're wearing a filter right now. Can I ask you to unfilter your photo right now?
Sure, of course. It's a big difference. It's always really funny to me. It's pretty simple, but if I can actually see everything, it'd be great. It's always just a lot of makeup.
Mm-hmm.
But that's basically all of it, I think.
Okay. So this is the real you, huh?
Essentially, this is me.
You're very beautiful.
Thank you.
Why do you
God,
why did you feel the need to have to hide who you are?
Because it was so different. Because when I first like really got my condition, there was no Winnie Harlow around, and it wasn't like the most people knew about the condition, which I still get today. Is that, oh, isn't that what Michael Jackson had and stuff like that? Like it wasn't a lot of knowledge of the condition itself, so it was definitely like a lot more questions. I feel like it was a lot more uncommon. I think that now, because people see more, it's more common to see people with it. And then you have role models that exist like Winnie Harlow, or like, it's just coming out more that people actually do have this and what it is. That now it's like, I don't feel a need to really be as covered.
Tell me everything I need to know about it.
Okay. The basic gist of it is that it's vitiligo. It is when you lose pigmentation in your skin, like the melanin. It doesn't produce like a lot of melanin in your skin, and in places where like it would be the white blood cells have like attacked the melanin in your skin. So like anywhere that's not pigmented is where white blood cells have attacked the natural pigment. And as far as we know, there's no known cause or known cure. There's an idea that it's kind of hereditary, but not 100%. So it's one of those very ambiguous things.
Right. And so, were you born with this?
I really don't think so. I think that mine developed when I was about in the 7th grade. It was a very small spot like on my finger, and it kind of rose from there.
So that day when you went into the world without using your filter, what were your feelings as you opened up the door for the first time to go out into that world?
The day that like I just chose to not wear it to work for the first time, which was the biggest step for me, I was so tired. I don't think I was even nervous at all. I just wanted to like see what would happen. I was kind of like anxious. I wanted to see like, okay, let's see what happens here. But I was so tired. I didn't even really care that day. So I think that was the biggest push, was just at that day, I didn't care. So I think I usually always would care what people would think, but that day I did not.
So if you can give advice to one girl who believe that they need filters in order to feel pretty, what would that be?
My advice would be that, if you want to use like any type of filters to help with your pictures to make it look more presentable to you, as long as you're happy with it and you're doing this because you want to, then don't let anybody tell you anything different. But if you're doing it to please other people or because you feel like you have to, then don't. Just do things to make yourself happy.
Now, last question. Now that your filter is off, what would Mariah tell her younger self who wore filters for 8 years?
That's a very interesting question for me, only because part of me would love to say that I would love to tell myself don't wear makeup, but I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't have done that because throughout that whole process, those 8 years of wearing my makeup, it helped make me the person that I am today. And it helped me in so many ways. Like I was just able to grow, because I don't think that I would have grown the same had I not gone through all of that. I think I would have grown up a little differently. I think that it definitely changed how I grew up, because I was forced to, because even with the makeup, because I still wore it, I still kind of stood out a little bit, but I was able to still stand out through other ways. That's when I was like a super dancer, and like that's what made me stand out the most, was like I was a dancer and I pushed myself up in my grades, my personality. And then taking away the makeup, now I still have all that wonderfulness, and then like this added on confidence just helped. So I think that it was a nice stepping stone, because it was a very gradual process. Like I went from being completely like you wouldn't see my face without makeup ever at all, to like, wearing it less often, and wearing it less often for pictures, and then to finally that day when I just took it off. That's probably the best advice I tell myself, that it gets easier.
That's right. Well, you know what, Mariah, I thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Open my eyes and wipe all of the sleep off. Turn off my phone, just wanna stretch out in my bed. Time to myself just to start the week off. Working sometimes take up too much space in my head. I'm leaving my clothes off, ain't put no makeup on. I'll move when I'm ready to move. I won't let it stress me out. This is my workaround when I feel like I've gotta regroup. I'm taking it easy.
You beautiful. You was made specifically, differently, and preciously. How different you look right now. Can I see you smile, please? Look, I said the word please too.